Welcome to What the Flick, Ben and Alonso. We promise we are going to finish
We're going to do it this
starting.
time.
Episodes 1, 2, and 3 of season 4 of House of Cards, and we will finish them all. We're not sure how we'll break them up,
but damn it, we're going to do it.
We're going to do them all. No more than 3 episodes at a time. So in these first 3 episodes, I couldn't quite remember where we left off.
I had to go back and read the Wikipedia page for season 3.
Well, update me.
Well, okay. Basically, remember Claire was the UN secretary for a while,
And
but
he
then
sort of forced her resignation.
Well, it was Petrov.
Petrov did,
really,
but he didn't.
He went with it.
He went with it, right?
Yeah, the guy who killed himself with her scarf, and there was the whole thing with the biographer and the America Works program. A lot of stuff that is not being brought up much.
Right.
Like America Works gets like a cursory mention in the first 3 episodes. The biographer got sent packing.
Right, the biographer got sent packing. The book finished, unfinished.
I think they fired him. Like they decided, Kim Dickens is gone apparently. So I don't know what's going on.
And what was Kim Dickens' role? She
was the new reporter, the new pool reporter to replace the one they got rid of. Obviously, a reporter guy who we meet in jail now had gone to jail for the computer hack thing that he hadn't actually done.
Who disappeared on The Leftovers.
Oh, right. Yes, indeed.
Right. Yeah. He's resurfaced. It turns out that's where he went. He went to federal prison.
He went to Netflix.
Exactly.
So he's now out of prison after helping the feds get a confession out of his cellmate, and he's trying to
an anti-confession.
Exactly. Yeah, a confession of innocence.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So he's trying to help nail Underwood by going to Heather Dunbar with what he knows about the murder of Rooney Mara, but they're not quite ready to buy that from him yet, since he reeks of
desperation. Right, and a crazy person in witness protection. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So Claire had at the ended last season announcing her intentions to walk out on Frank, but obviously now her political ambitions are something that he's paying a very close eye on. So they got to figure out some sort of détente there.
She is. She's playing with fire. There's a degree of unrealism that I didn't think really existed in season 1, or the season 1 unrealism was an acceptable level.
Sure.
They accelerated.
Because it was within a context of other things that made sense.
It was basically real, where obviously politicos would watch and think, oh, this is all moving too fast, or that's not
right.
But we saw committee hearings, stuff you just don't see, marking up of a bill. Right. Whereas now, you manufacture the loss of your husband's campaign in his home state by tagging his father with the Klan in a story, making him a liar about his father, essentially, to the voters, and breaking off relationships with a powerful member of the Congressional Black Caucus in the process. You really, he's not like the strongest candidate in the world to begin with. He's already running behind. I think
I'm finding this a little hard to swallow, because first of all, we're supposed to buy the notion that she's so convinced that he's going to lose that she has to run for office while he's still president, which means running for office while he is also running for office.
That's right.
That already strains credulity. Then, that she would kneecap his candidacy that hard as a way to leverage herself as his running mate?
And not even as a way to leverage. Yes, the way to leverage, instead of saying, I'm going to do this, saying, look what I'll do, and I'll do worse. Like, I'll destroy your candidacy for that. It just...
Because here's the thing, did Hillary help Bill get elected in 92 and 96? Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Would anyone have stood still for her hopping on as his running mate, even within the party? No.
It's funny, but based on Hillary, if we presume that the Underwoods exist in a world where the Clintons used to exist.
Did
exist. Hey, we're talking to 20 members, Bill Clinton was president.
Yeah, sure.
His wife was super
9/11 happened on this show,
right,
we established, right?
So there's been, it strikes me as possible that, especially after serving as UN ambassador, and being credited as she seems to be, and having good approval ratings with helping, like running for Congress, if that's what she wanted to do, I think he's right, it seems too small. The Senate seems more realistic. I think the spouse could run. Like the president could be married to a member of Congress.
Right, but would the spouse run during an election year where the president is running for the first time as an elected, thing? That all sounded like.
And the running mate stuff, his reaction I think was appropriate. It's funny because
they could never travel together now because if God forbid if something happens to both of them at the same time, that's a good day for the Speaker of the House.
That's right. That's true. It was funny when they were having their fight in this final episode, at episode 3, I was like, oh, I hate Claire, right? And then I'm like, Frank murdered 2 people, 3, Rachel, Russo,
right,
and Rooney Mara, or the other Mara, Kate Mara.
Kate Mara, right?
Right, and I'm on his side.
Well, I mean, Claire is a fascinating character, and I love the way that Robin Wright plays her.
Yeah.
But we're getting into an area now where I'm like, Claire's too smart for what they've got Claire doing. I don't buy into this strategy of hers because, yes, I get the idea that once he loses the election, then that diminishes her clout, and so she's got to strike while the iron's hot. But again, I don't see her thinking this is the smart way to get this done.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that, but nonetheless, I'm still interested in it. I still I'm still into it. I still like these characters. I still like it when I still like it when he talks to camera.
Yes, they made us wait for it this time, though.
They did. They made us wait for it. What it ended with, cut down Claire's tree, right?
Yes.
And he knew it was. He knew she was the one. They're on to Seth. They have to be on to Seth. His trying to blame Meacham was transparent,
right?
And there's and we have to remember Meacham and the president. There was a 3-way.
Yeah.
Right. And so when he puts his hand on Meacham, I don't know. It's very bold of Kevin Spacey to do this, considering he knows the Kevin Spacey rumors, right?
Oh well, but this character, there's a lot of queerness going on. There was the
Citadel thing,
exactly,
or whatever they called it,
the whatever his military school that he was clearly having a relationship.
It was the Citadel
with a classmate and all that stuff. So yeah, and not only has Frank Underwood murdered 3 people, he makes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and puts the peanut butter knife into the jelly without wiping it on the bread first.
You think that's
that is appalling.
I think, but if you're the only one making the peanut butter and jelly,
I guess, but still,
there was not enough jelly on that.
No, that was the other thing. That's some bullshit jelly.
Of jelly. What are you doing, man?
Who are we
peanut butter?
So all this bread. Anyway, Cicely Tyson, I think is great.
Yeah.
She's
Lisa Gay Hamilton too.
Yes, totally.
No, they were great.
And Nev Campbell, I'm really enjoying as
totally missed a thought we were going to get more Nev Campbell on Mad Men. Glad she showed up on House of Cards. Yeah.
No, and I like the idea of Claire having her own sort of, mover and shaker, on retainer now for whatever it is that lies ahead. But, and again, part of the implausibility factor here is that not only is Claire going to run for office during a presidential election cycle, but she's going to try and get elected out of an all-black district of South Dallas?
Yeah, well, but of course. So right. Is she naive? Was she mistaken? Is Frank right? Frank, it was going to be incredibly hard, even with their support. Yeah. Someone was going to run against you.
I think so. Because as popular as Tyson's character no doubt is, the optics of that is very bizarre. And just as somebody who used to live in Dallas, they definitely are getting things right about. I definitely the Ellen Burstyn's ladies who lunch moment. That was ooh, that's Dallas.
Those are Dallas. That's Dallas society.
And that's the district that would elect her. But I'm sure that's probably that district wasn't up that year. And
or it's just it's up. They're all up every year in the House, but they're
that's true.
But it's probably some powerful politician who's been elected and running again, not going to be unseated. So she's taking advantage of what she saw as an opening, but that's probably a minority-drawn district, on purpose. And so, there was a huge risk there. But I liked all the shenanigans with the breast cancer research center, and that Frank, again, he always wins. He seems to always win. He doesn't always win. But, he took that plan and he just turned it into his own. Although I lost the train on that. I was like, wait, They're getting $3 million for Jackie. So
Yeah.
So who? Wait, but that's the money from the mom. So Frank has usurped that.
I wasn't sure about that either, and I think it's because Jackie's like super connected with Veterans Affairs, and this was a VA hospital, and that's why they needed her signed onto it until Frank comes in.
But the plan initially wasn't it Claire's plan the mom was going to help Claire by doing that, and then it turned out.
But the mom was telling everybody to give money to Heather, not to Jackie.
So that wasn't.
I think that's a separate thing.
So those women didn't write money.
No, those women were writing money to Heather. I think that what Claire was doing was, look, Jackie's connected with Veterans.
So that $3 million to Jackie is separate from that scene of the ladies' lunch.
That was my understanding. Maybe
I don't know. I got lost.
Tell us in the comments.
I got lost. But in the end, Frank won that. Yeah.
Now the Jackie Remy thing. Why isn't Remy just saying to Jackie out front, hey, we need to ease off a bit because I think people are starting to notice?
Right.
Why is he just kind of trying to ghost on her and making her think that it's personal and not that he's actually looking
Or does he legitimately want to get back in, or does he feel betrayed by her? I was a little lost there too. So
but we're only 3 episodes in. So
right, we're not supposed to have all answers. Also, what's to keep them from just, is she married?
She got married, remember?
She got to the doctor.
Yes, because
she's married and the doctor has a kid.
Right.
So they do have to be. Okay,
yes.
All right. I for a moment, I was like, why can't they?
No, yeah, I totally get why they have to keep it hidden, but I don't see why he can't say, when she asks, hey, why don't you come see me in California, why doesn't he just say, look, I just had this drink with Nev Campbell and it seems clear that she is picking up on stuff and we need to like dial it down before somebody notices.
Yeah, he has loyalties somewhere and he's trying to figure out maybe where or what he wants to do.
I guess.
Anyway,
I hope that gets explained.
Yeah, I was. So anyway, there seemed to be, it's a little too crazy, as always. but that said, I was sorry when the episode was over, and I was sorry that I couldn't keep going.
No, me too. Yeah. Definitely, that's a sign.
I would have watched another one if I didn't have to stop for the purposes of this review.
Although I have to say, at some point when he's like campaigning in New Hampshire, I thought, God help anybody trying to come up with something dramatic about the presidential election that is more interesting than the real one that's happening, because this particular election is so bananas. I can't imagine trying to do anything like, forget satirical, just even dramatic, because it's real life is too crazy right now.
Yeah, so in that sense, House of Cards is premiering at the exact right time for House of Cards.
But they had to write this a year ago. They had no idea how bug this was going to get.
My wife and I just drove up the California coast this weekend, and I was like getting gas for $2.30 a gallon, and they got it at $5.57, headed to $6 and $7.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Do we think that does Russia alone have that much power in the whole sort of like world petroleum market that by them pulling back?
Let me tell you something I don't understand.
Okay.
The world petroleum market.
Okay, well,
so, maybe.
Bring your cousin in to explain this show to us.
We should. My cousin John Mankiewicz, one of the writers. Anyway, good stuff. I mean, certainly. Look, it's a soap opera. So
no. Yeah, it's engaging for sure. No question.
Definitely engaging. All right, we're back next week with.
We will be back with more. We swear.
4, 5, and 6. Thanks, everybody.